Hi there, welcome to my channel. I'm Christy and I currently am homesteading, farmstead, whatever you want to call it, in Northern Alberta, Zone 2B. And today, this video is about a challenge that I have accepted to do in the month of January. It is called the Three Rivers Challenge, and it is a pantry challenge. And what that means is we people who are participating, like me, are we're basically challenging ourselves to cook meals for our family with stuff we have on hand without going to the grocery store. Now, for me, I grow most of our own food, or I buy it from local market or buy it from local producers. So I do a lot of scratch cooking already. So this is kind of me showcasing my lifestyle to you. So I hope you stick around and check out these recipes. In this video, I made an easy kind of like, it's like it is a braised short rib, but it's done in the quick cooker, and it took like an hour and a half, I think, total, complete, done. And I also made a broccoli and asparagus soup, like a cream of broccoli and asparagus soup. And so I did that in this video, and it just really simple, and using just really simple ingredients. The broccoli soup, I used the stems of the broccoli and not like the florets. So florets, is that the word? You could tell I'm a flower farmer, hey, because I instantly say just like resort to florets. Anyway, I just come in from doing chores. I was planning to show you outside, because one of my next pantry challenge recipes, I need an egg, and surprisingly my hens are still laying off and on. They just started laying after they molted, and it is 40 below here, and I don't heat my coops. I do have a ceramic bulb in my chicken coops, and I wanted to take you out and show you what I do in these frigid cold temperatures and how my livestock is surviving and thriving. They're doing really well, but the problem was my camera, it can't take these cold temperatures, and it was freezing up. So there's no footage. So yeah, it's really, really cold here. The wind chill is negative 30 or 35 degrees Celsius. What's that in Fahrenheit? I guess this is the screenshot of what it currently is right now, which it is significantly warmed up since this morning. However, I am finding it to be much better than it has been all week. Today was the first time I could go outside and breathe in a really big deep breath and not hurt my lungs. Whereas when it was like we had a negative 55 or 59 degree wind chill, this is the Fahrenheit of that, it literally hurt to breathe. So today I felt good. It felt almost tropical out there. I was sweating with all the layers of clothes feeding horses today. But anyway, I'm glad I don't have to go to town, and that I can just stay home, keep the fire going, keep the animals fed, and just enjoy some quiet time at home without having to go to the grocery store in the month of January, especially when it is this cold. So yeah, well, anyway, check out these recipes.
So for my pantry challenge in this video, I wanted to do something with this asparagus that I found hiding in the back of my fridge. I should note that it kind of had gotten a little bit frozen. I'm not sure how it got frozen, but it wasn't looking the greatest. So I decided making a soup would be the best option to use up this asparagus that was hiding in the fridge. I added some garlic that I found in the pantry. It was just a ginormous clove that I found in there. So I added that to the asparagus. I'm just kind of prepping everything to get it ready to go into some hot oil on the stove to saute it. So just a little bit of prep work makes it a little easier. I love this press. It's a Pampered Chef press. So easy to use. Here I am chopping up some broccoli stems that I found in the fridge as well. I always keep my broccoli stems for doing stuff like this. I find it so nutritious and very tasty. I'm just chopping them up into approximately 1-inch pieces so that they cook a little bit faster, because let's face it, Broccoli cooks a lot slower than asparagus, so I wanted to make it a little bit easier to cook and make it cook a little bit quicker. I added some pepper to some hot oil on my stove. I'm just using olive oil here. I don't know why I do this. I don't know why, but I do and I like it. I'm adding the veggies to the hot oil and pepper, and I decided I would like to use some dried onions instead of chopping one up because my eyes were bothering me that day and I just didn't feel up to cutting an onion. I added some bone broth to the veggies. I added 1 quart of turkey stock that I made from a turkey I'd done. I'll post a link to the video of making this turkey stock for you in the description below. But it was 1 quart. I used 2 half quart jars, or 2 pint jars, sorry. I just covered the mixture and let it do its thing on the stove to soften up completely. And I added some seasonings. I added salt and pepper to the soup. I also want to note I always use Himalayan salt just because I like to stay away from sea salt and the microplastics. I know I've said that a few times on this channel. And I just let this simmer down to make sure that everything is nice and tender and good to go for when it's ready to puree. I just covered and kept simmering. Went in there with my immersion blender and blended it all up until smooth. There was a few chunks in there, but I was just losing patience. Now, I normally wouldn't want to add cheese to this, but Tyson won't eat things unless it's like stuff like this, unless it's cheesy. So I added some cheese and then I added some cream. I think it was like half and half cream, just a little bit. I would generally add cashew milk. I also added some granulated onion and granulated garlic, as well as more pepper. And as you can see, the cheese is melted down and it's a nice consistency. I just plated it up. Look at that gooey cheese in there. It was really delicious. To garnish it, I added some chives that I had in my pantry. I thought it added a little nice little touch. You could probably use dill. It would go really well with dill.
Moment of truth.
Yeah, it's good.
I'm sorry, what?
It's good.
It's what?
Hot. It's hot.
But what? It's good?
Yeah.
Now for the short ribs done in the pressure cooker. The one that I have is a Pampered Chef version of the Instapot. So I preheated my reservoir on the sear setting and I added some olive oil into the reservoir because I didn't have any avocado like I would normally use. And I just seared the meat. When you preheat it, it prevents it from sticking too badly. And I still had a little bit of a stick, but that's okay. It worked out in the end. So I just seared them till they're really nice. And please don't judge me with my celery. This celery was in the fridge. It was also frozen, just like the same issue I had with the asparagus. Clearly my fridge is on the fritz. So I chopped up a couple sticks of celery, some carrots, and an onion, and just tossed it all in. I pulled out the ribs so that I could saute the vegetables and get that flavor from the sear. It smelled heavenly, by the way. I added some granulated garlic because I didn't have any more garlic cloves left, and I thought I did, but they all had spoiled. They got soft on me. I added some red wine that I found in the back of the fridge and a pint of turkey stock. I added 2 tablespoons of balsamic vinegar, as well as 1 tablespoon of soy sauce and 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. And I just kind of blended that up. I added in some, I think it was about 2 tablespoons of coconut sugar into the sauce and a couple of bay leaves. I added some dried thyme from the garden. And I just added the meat right on back into the sauce mixture. I pressure cooked it on the beef setting for approximately 55 minutes. And while I was waiting for it to cook, I managed to find a bottle of white wine in the fridge that my niece had left. She calls it adult apple juice. Boy, was she right. That is some sweet, sweet wine. For the side for these short ribs, I decided I wanted to use up some potatoes that I had done in a previous video, the scalloped potatoes. I will link the video to that one that pantry challenge video in the description below. But I just simply warmed them up with some butter in the pan, and I seasoned it with some seasoning salt, some pepper, and I used some granulated garlic as well. And I just heated it through, made sure it was nice. I kind of started to mash it up because I wanted a little bit of a mashed potato texture. And then I added some chives and just kind of livened it up a little bit. They were really delicious. You can see there's onions and stuff in there. When the short ribs were done, I just gave it a good stir, made sure everything was nice and tender, and it was. I had allowed it to slowly release on its own for about 10 to 15 minutes before I released the pressure, and that was about perfect. They were really delicious, and I'm not a short rib person, but I really do like this recipe. I hope you enjoy.
So tomorrow's video, I have some really interesting things that I'm working on to share with you. In the pinch, you know, up here in northern Alberta, where we get really, really cold, sometimes where we have the truck won't start, or the truck is froze up, or we have extreme weather, you know, like -55 wind chill. Sometimes you just might not have, or you might not have things in stock, or the grocery store may not be able to get that supply chain in because of adverse weather. So this is one of my tips, or some of my tips that I will be posting tomorrow, and see what I do to get myself out of a pinch when I can't get to town and get ingredients. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Bye for now. Oh, yeah. Please like and subscribe and hit the bell notification if you like getting content like this. Take care.